I know, you expected me to talk about Widowmaker, but I'm not talking about the Season 13 trailer because, honestly, what is there to talk about? We got a third DPS Mythic skin in a row, and they didn't even show the Season Pass skins in the trailer, so I refuse to review it. Wow! Instead, I've got an absolute treat for you. You read the title, you saw the thumbnail. Horse meta is back, and this time it is balls to the walls crazy because of the synergies between Orisa, Brigitte, and Juno, with the supports turning Orisa into an even bigger threat whilst being a massive threat themselves. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly how we've got here and why this comp works, as it's actually pretty interesting to look at the logistics behind it. I'll get into it in a minute, but first I'm going to ask you to subscribe, as I want to continue making Overwatch 2 related content that isn't only entertaining, but educational too. We're nearing that 1k sub count, and I'd love to break it by the end of the year. Now, we've got a horse to discuss. Let's back up a little bit so we can look at how exactly we got here. Over the span of a few seasons and balance patches, Orisa has received some micro tweaks here and there which at first seemed like nothing, but once she received the most recent one, that's when we realised that the power creep had hit a new peak, making her a viable pick again, more viable than D.Va. The main change I'm going to focus on is the most recent one, which made her slightly faster when fortified. Like the other patches, people thought, oh, this isn't too bad, slightly annoying, but nothing that the current meta can't deal with, which was true for a short while until people started playing Orisa Juno. This pairing is lethal for the exact same reason D.Va Juno was lethal. The extra mobility given to Orisa lets her get in and act like a literal steamroller, crushing everything in her path with little to no consequences. Because of A, the constant healing from Juno in this push, and B, Fortify giving her a massive resistance to damage whilst she's receiving constant healing from Juno. This is all without the help of Brig. Brig is there to help Orisa secure the kills, as well as healing her through inspiration and health packs, acting like this weird mesh of all of the roles, like she usually does, but on a whole other level thanks to the aid of Juno. This is why the meta comp works. It's fast, dangerous, and somewhat hard to get around like the D.Va meta. Sure, you can counterpick and play heroes like Mei, Symmetra, and Zarya, but unlike D.Va, Orisa can work well when played at a range, so you're better off just sticking to what you're most comfortable with and burning the team down steadily. If you're good at Ashe, great. Playing Ashe into this comp means you can constantly focus the backline whilst being in your own backline, playing it safe and making it a bit more difficult for the enemy team to make any real progress because they have one less support or one less DPS constantly. Now the question going into next season is, will this remain the meta, or will we be seeing changes that mix it up entirely? Hopefully they've learned from the D.Va situation at the start of season 12 and won't let history repeat itself, but this is Blizzard we're talking about, so let's be realistic here. We might see a few tweaks here and there, but for the most part, I don't think it will change all that much. I think if anyone in this team comp is going to get hit with a lot of changes, it will be Juno, because good lord is she broken. Orbital Ray is acting more like Zen's Tranquility with a damage boost, and her healing and damage output is nuts. At the end of the day though, she's still a new hero, so it makes sense for the team to kind of sit back and just analyze how strong she is and patch it for the next season. Should they do this with Orisa? Yes, they should, absolutely. Will they? But that just about does it for this video. TLDR, Horse meta is back and in full motion, and unsurprisingly, it sucks. There's just something about Orisa being in meta that makes the game super boring if you're playing any other role than DPS. As a support, it's now your job to pump all of your resources into the Orisa to keep her alive whilst occasionally healing your DPS. And as a tank, it is now your job to get flamed for being able to do little to nothing into this comp. You can only do so much against it. Yeah, it's nowhere near as bad as D.Va meta, but it's a huge pain in the ass to play around. Winston works well into this though, so that's fun. I always love hopping onto Winston and just stomping the backline to hinder the Orisa up front. and she can't really block your damage unless she's in Fortify, so... But even then, it's not really blocking damage, she's still taking damage. Anyways, thanks for watching. Once again, I'm gonna ask you to subscribe and leave a like on this video, as it lets me know that you've enjoyed it and want to see more. Let me know how you're finding this meta in the comments. Do you enjoy horse meta, or do you find it annoying like me? As in, I find the comp annoying, not that I'm... You know what I mean. Finally, have a nice day or night if you're watching this at night, and make sure to check out some of my other videos. Not only will I appreciate it, but you might too.